Yo, what is going on, guys? Drex here, and today I'm coming at you with a brand new video. And in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the Arbalest, the brand new kinetic linear fusion rifle that you can get from the Revelry. And this is an exotic linear fusion rifle. It has compounding force, fires slugs that do extra damage to enemy shields, and then breaking those shields with this weapon makes them more susceptible to other kinetic weapon damage after their shield is broken. And the main selling point of this weapon is that it actually goes in the primary slot, which is pretty damn cool. So you can mix and match your loadout a lot, and this weapon has some pretty good capabilities in PvE and PvP. We are going to be starting with PvE first. So the main thing that you want to note about this weapon in PvE is that it does extra damage to combatant shields, and it does not have an element, so it does extra damage to all types of elemental shields, solar, arc, or void, which makes it one of the actually a pretty damn good weapon in PvE, because you don't have to worry about what element you run with your other weapons as much, as long as you have this thing equipped. And I don't know about you guys, but PvE, I have not found an exotic weapon that I just run in my setup every time. So this would probably replace my legendary sniper rifle that I use, because it doesn't quite one-shot enemies of lower health that have shields, just like that captain you saw, but it gets them pretty damn close to dying. And then, like I said, they are more susceptible, I cannot say that word, susceptible to other kinetic damage. So even if they don't die right off the bat, they are really close to dying. And it takes normal special ammo, so you really don't have to worry about focusing certain ads with certain weapons. It's pretty damn easy, and it charges pretty quickly, so your DPS is actually pretty decent. This could definitely be useful for modifiers such as match game, where you have to worry a lot more about what types of elements you're using. This doesn't really get affected by match game because it does tons of damage to all elemental shields. So basically what I'm saying is you're getting a lot of value out of one weapon slot, since it can do damage to all elemental shields. Pretty damn useful. Of course, it won't act like a normal elemental weapon because it doesn't technically have an element, so if it's Void Singe or Solar Singe, it won't affect this weapon at all since it's still kinetic, but it will still do damage to your shields like crazy. So the other utilization it has in PvE, honestly, is for boss DPS. So this weapon actually charges up pretty quickly. It does not take long to charge up this weapon and fire it. It's almost like a sniper, so you can actually pump out some decent DPS on bosses with this weapon. It won't be anything crazy like any heavy ammo weapons like Whisper of the Worm or something such as that, but for a special weapon, especially one that only takes your kinetic slot, it is pretty good DPS. Ad clear with this thing is not awful. I definitely would not use it to ad clear. That's why you see me running a Recluse. Unfortunately, you can't run the Breakneck since the Breakneck goes in the kinetic slot. So I'm running a Recluse, a very similar weapon to the Breakneck. I actually did a video on comparing the both of them a few days ago, so go check that out if you want to see the Recluse and the Breakneck compared. So I'm actually running the Recluse with this just because it has pretty good ad clear potential. You don't want to be wasting all your special on ad clear. I would mostly use this for more powerful ads with the shields, so you can actually utilize this weapon's exotic perk and focus the smaller ads with your Recluse or whatever good ad clearing weapon you want to equip in your energy slot. Pairing something up with heavy, I just went with a machine gun because machine guns are pretty damn good. Rocket launchers aren't the best right now. Machine guns can provide decent boss damage as well as good ad clear also, so this is a pretty damn good PvE loadout with this weapon. Overall, with the ability to DPS boss, it only takes up your kinetic slot. It does insane damage to shields. Overall, in PvE, I would probably rate this weapon a 9 out of 10. It is pretty awesome. So moving into PvP, this weapon is also extremely good. It acts kind of like a sniper rifle, but you can put it in your primary slot, so you can equip a closer range weapon, once again like a Recluse, or in some of this gameplay I was using a Luna's How. Is both very good for this weapon, because you have your long range with this weapon, A really powerful weapon such as the Recluse or the Luna's Howl fits in really well with this weapon, just so you can have your close range covered with one of these overpowered weapons. In PvP, it's actually interesting if you have an overshield from a rift, or you just got rezzed, or even if you just spawned. This weapon can one-shot you, because it says any enemy combatants with extra shields, and technically your overshield counts as an extra shield to this weapon. So you can get one shot if you have an overshield. In Gambit, my entire team got one shot. 4 people, one shot body shot, because we were all standing in a healing rift. And we will talk about this weapon in Gambit. But so don't be standing in a healing rift if a lot of people are using this weapon, because they can one-shot body shot you as they do extra damage to you, which is not fun. This thing is almost like a sniper in PvP. Its charge rate is so fast that you will hardly even know its charge rate. In a lot of these clips, I was not used to the charge rate. I was expecting it to be more like Queen Breakers, where it took just a little bit to charge up, but no, this thing fires extremely fast, even faster than the Queen Breakers. Honestly, this might be a better version of the Queen Breakers, because its target acquisition is not as nutty as the Queen Breakers, so you won't be hitting headshots where it looks like you hit them in the toe, but it is still pretty damn decent. You will be hitting a lot of headshots that you wouldn't really expect to hit. Body shots do like half damage, so it is very similar to a sniper, but it is really nice in PvP. Gambit, I'm just going to talk about a little bit. There's not much to say with Gambit. It's pretty damn good for invading. Good for taking down some blockers, such as the Captains, which is a medium blocker. Can do decent primeval damage. Overall, Gambit, it's pretty solid. I wouldn't say it's as broken as Queen Breakers was for invading, but it is still pretty damn good. Like I said, you have to watch where you're standing. If you have an overshield, this thing can one-shot you, so don't be all grouped up in a rift like my team was. I did not know it had a PvP. I didn't know it affected Guardian overshields. I thought we were just talking about other overshields, so nobody was expecting that. Yeah, but overall in PvP and in Gambit, I will give this weapon a 7 out of 10. This is a really good exotic, people, and it's not that much of a grind. And a 9 out of 10 and a 7 out of 10 averages to a 8 out of 10 total score, one of the higher scoring weapons that I've done some of these reviews on. So it's definitely worth the grind. The grind isn't even that hard. It doesn't take too long. 7 Triumphs and 300 Reveler's Essence, and you can have this thing for yourself. A very, very solid weapon, in my opinion. The next weapon we review, I believe we're going to be reviewing the Gambit Prime Pulse Rifle, so stay tuned for that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe for more Destiny and any other games I might happen to play. This has been DigiRex. Peace.
I'm out.